Hi guys, it's Danny and I'm back with another journal, and this one is a sewing theme one, and I use the collection from Artymaze sewing theme one, and this one is really chunky, and I've left all the strings because I figure it's a sewing theme one, so I wanted to leave all the strings, but if they bug you, you can just trim them off. So this is what it looks like. It has 5 signatures. It is chipboard front and back cover. And I used this lace that I had that has all the stringies. And I used for the front cover one of her images, and I ran some flat back pearls around it. Hope you guys can see that. Some flat back pearls around it, and I have fabric cover all around, and I ran that lace all in the spine, and I ran some flat back pearls right down the center. And for the back, I had I stitched the image, and I ran some eyelash trim around it because I wanted it to have some fibers and stuff. So that's what I did. And then it has a lace closure that I just inked up with this dress ink. And that's what it looks like. Hope you guys like it. And then here I ran some of that trim, so you have all these dangles. Let me see if I can give you a better shot. So it's really chunky. So let's get into it. Let's see if I could give you a better view. Sorry about my hand. There we go. All right. I'm gonna have to hold it because it's just chunky monkey. So for the front here, I have a pocket. And I've distressed and sewed a lot in this one. I've distressed with black soot. So I have a pocket here, and I used, for any cardstock that I used it's like a cream color cardstock because I wanted it to look even more aged. So I used that. And you have This Book Belongs To, and then you have an envelope here with a little fold out. Very pretty. And that just goes right in there. And then here I have a side tuck there, and I stitched what I did with this tag, and I sprinkled a few around. I layered it with tracing paper and then coffee paper because I wanted to get this crunch. You hear it? So it's a poofy one. And look at how pretty. And I stitched a lot in this book. So the tags are stitched. I have some lace around the book. And then I have the little mason jar with the butterfly and the trim. And then this idea I got from Kelly Snow, and she had some printables, and then she backed it up with pattern. You know, the sewing patterns that come, in the sewing envelopes back in the day. So I did a few of them like that here. So you'll have the pattern paper in the back. And I think that's really cute. So that's what I did. And then this is a little flip, little quote. And I had this in my computer, so I just printed it out and put it there. And then you have some music sheet. And then I got this from Artymaze. She had a clip, and it had a little tiny envelope. Let me see if I could get it out now. And it's a little paper clip with one of her little envelopes, and then it had a little tiny card. So I got that idea from her. So that goes right in there for a little secret. Little doily. Little envelope there, and then a little tag I stitched all around. And distressed the back. And a little stitched up pocket. And this is just a little leftover paper. I just stitched it and just put it in there. And this is vellum that I printed on, so I stitched it there and used it as a pocket. And then this is from a book that I have on thimbles, and it just talks about you know, the different kind of thimbles from way back in the day. Like this is thimbles back in old Turkish thimbles. So it tells you about what they used to look like, the styles. So I just backed them on cardstock and stitched around them. And then for this envelope, I just put some ribbon there, and I found these little button cards, and I just backed them on that sewing paper and just stuck them in there. And this is part of her kit, and it's one of those needle envelopes, and I have several of them around the book. And then I have this little sticker here that says sewing, so I just thought that was cute, and I just put it there. And then I found this online. It says needle, thread, and stitch guide. So I just wanted to keep the page whole, so I just folded it and kept it there. And then this is an advertisement on sewing machines. I thought that was cute, so I just put it there. And I stitched some paper ruffles. This is an envelope. This is a doily, music sheet, tracing paper, and this is another little tag in the pocket that I stitched around. And more lace. And I'll have the page count listed on my Etsy. And I used some of the that pattern paper, you know, for sewing. I made paper ruffles, and I just used them on some of the edge of the papers, the pages. And I have some altered clips right here, and this is the Crafty Irina. She was the one who came up with that banner paper clip. And then here's another poofy tag stitched around, and that just goes right in there. And this is a children's poetry book page, another little envelope. And then I made this side tuck, and I just ran that trim there. Thought that was really cute. Another tag I stitched around. And then I used one of her dress forms, and I just put some lace and a couple pearls, and I stitched around it, backed it on a book page, and backed it, the book page on a sewing page. And this just housed vintage hook and eyes. I think that's what it's called. Hook and eyes, yep. This is really vintage. I got these from eBay. It's missing quite a few, but it still has some. So I'm including those in there. And then this is an envelope, and I just had this pretty trim. So it houses this Singer. Is it Singer? Anyway, $17.95 would have bought you that machine back in the day. Can you believe it? And I just backed it on paper, on that sewing paper. So that goes in there, and this envelope has a, let me scoosh this over, has another pocket inside and a tag that I stitched around. and you can use in here. And that goes in there. And then I fussy cut this little scissors, and that houses another little tag. Little mommy and daughter sewing. And then this envelope houses more hook and eyes, and this is from Clinton. And this is another vintage piece. This was 10 cents from Star Stores. So I'm including those two. So that's where you'll find them, in there. And another one of those paper ruffles. And more vellum that I printed on. And this is thimbles from the 19th century. And doily. And then I printed an extra page, so I didn't get to use it, so I just included it there. You could do whatever you want with it. And this, right in there, and this little envelope opens and it has a little card for journaling, and that goes right back in there. And another little tag, she's so cute, backed on pattern paper. And this is one of those spools, and I just put some fibers on it for texture. This is one of those flip ups, what are they called, tip-ins? That's fabric. And this here is a little booklet that I've included. Coffee stained papers. So that goes right back in there. And another little envelope. And more ephemera. A sticker that says believe. And this is one of her ephemera pieces. I just put it on a book page and distressed around it. And that's an envelope in there. And I used her tickets for a little corner tuck with some buttons, card, and I just tucked that in there. Another vellum corner little tuck. And this is thimbles from the 20th century, late 19th century or early 20th century. And I backed that and stitched around it. This is a little envelope for you to put anything in it. And it's also a little pocket here. Little quote down there, little banner. Another envelope, another pocket here. And I seen this on Pinterest, and this is a vintage bingo card that I found at Goodwill, and I just glued some buttons on it and distressed it and stitched around the bingo card, and that just goes right in there. I thought that was really cute. Another pocket with a card, tag distressed and stitched around. And this is a lace little pocket there. And this is another needle envelope. And this is another little mason jar that I just put some trim and a little butterfly there. Another lace pocket here with another vintage little advertisement. Another envelope. This is a banner tuck. And this is a button card. I just stitched some buttons there. And I just included these tickets in there. This is a story of a girl that works in a button factory for you to read, and I backed it with that pattern paper. And more vintage advertisement for the buttons. And this is a pocket here with more needle envelopes and these two little tags. And it is also a pocket. And then on this side is a side tuck with a machine and a scissors. And look at how cute. I love these. Look at the bluebirds. Vintage buttons. And more advertisement, vintage advertisements. And they're backed on that pattern sewing paper. And this is an envelope from the kit, and it houses. I use every piece from this kit in this book. I just love using every piece of the kit. I love using for kits. And that goes right in there. It's a fatty. This is another little Arena banner paper clip. A little altered clip. More book page and tracing paper and doily, and this is another little envelope paper clip, and it has the little card in there too. And in here there is some vintage snaps, and there's 4 in there. So I'm including that in there. And more tags here. And I use that as a belly band. And this is the envelope. And this is a side tuck. Another little ruffle. And this is a lace pocket with more button ephemera. And this is another, for saving stuff in there. Another one of these crunchy, poofy tags. Another pocket here with a stitched up tag. And another card goes in that, and this has lace too and some pearls. And this is the back of it, and it says she spends hours in the sewing room. And that is the back of it, and it's pretty chunky. So this is going to be listed on my Etsy. Sorry the video was so long, but I tried to fly through it. The description is going to be in, the link to my shop is in the description box below if you're interested. And thank you so much for watching. I'm coming back with the last journal, and it's going to be the nature walk one. And thank you so much for watching, guys. All right, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.